Good evening everyone, this is Sam. Today I'm finally bringing you the update note review that I should have been doing earlier but decided to postpone due to my decision to try out the content by myself, and also for the fact that I actually desired to make sure that I could grasp the entirety of what the patch brought before giving an opinion on it. Now, as I have been paying attention to the movements of the economy after the patch has been released, I first want to talk about that point in particular. First of all, we have gotten not one, but two legendaries, out of which only one had been teased on the GW2 Twitter. It was both the sword and the hammer legendary of the second generation that are released with this patch. In my opinion, the sword is simply gorgeous, whereas the hammer has night effects that do not exactly appeal to my tastes. As such, I will be working toward making the swords, even though I will be waiting a bit because the prices right now do not reflect what I think they should be. Indeed, we have seen a rise of price of everything involved in the crafting of legendary weapons of the second generation. The main culprit we should be talking about would be the Mystic Curio. Mystic Curio is that one item that you need in order to make the shards needed for the precursor and the ascended version of the precursor upwards to making the legendary itself. Mystic Curios are made by using various amount of elderwood, mithril and tier 5 materials. The problem with that is that the supply is limited for all of these. The crafting time is very long, which makes it rather a hassle to make one of the new legendaries. In my opinion, if you want to make a new legendary, you should, beforehand, before the patch is even live, buy all the materials you will need to make the Mystic Curios. I will be working towards that in the future, and in the meantime I will slightly postpone making the legendary sword. Definitely not for the fact that I cannot be motivated to do Maguma region exploration. That's never the case, come on. Now we're going towards the second part of the patch notes. We've had various event fixing. Heck, these were actually some of the items that were present in the previous patch notes and were later scratched off because they weren't in the release. As such, I will not be going over them again. In my opinion, there is nothing of major importance over there. As we move on, we can talk about the new Fractal. This is actually the footage that is right now on the video. You can see the guild IA skimming through the content and actually finding it rather enjoyable. Indeed, this Fractal brought a lot of new mechanics. These mechanics require you to be on your toe 24/7 to pay attention to what is happening to your allies, around you and onto the boss itself. In my opinion, this is exactly the type of hardcore content that we should have in the game in order to finally make the hardcore part of the population happier. The problem, on the other hand, is that it will make the casuals very mad. This Fractal is not something that they will be able to complete, not even talking about the CM mode, but even in normal mode. I think that it will take the community a few weeks to get used to this new level of difficulty, but in the meantime, all the hardcore people are gonna be enjoying themselves to the fullest. Speaking about the mechanics of this Fractal, quite a few were borrowed from FF14. I have been lately playing that game much more, and I have seen some mechanics such as the gaze from the boss that has an effect on you taken directly from that other game. The one thing that is truly important to note about this new Fractal is that it is bringing new rewards. First of all, we could be talking about the new Infusions. Sadly, I haven't dropped one in the 2 runs I have done thus far, but if I ever get one, I will showcase it directly on the YouTube channel. If you are curious about its effect, after you have defeated the first boss in the challenge mode, he has an effect all over his body similar to the druid's celestial avatar. This is the effect that the infusion would put on your own body. The second thing that it rewards is a new tonic, quite similar to the Endless Fractal tonic, even though I have no idea which forms you can take with it yet. The second thing that is coming with the rewards is new titles. There is a title for completing the Fractal in challenge mode, and then there is a much more hardcore, much more rare to have title for completing the challenge mode of the Fractal without dying a single time. That applies not only to yourself, but the entirety of your party. This is a particularly hard title, but right now it has been cheesed by a lot of players. This is something akin to Silent Savior and Demon Demise 2.0. We could say that this title will probably lose its rarity if at some point the devs try to make a new title for completing it properly after the fixes. Indeed, the Fractal could be bugged, such as the last boss would never be reactive. I will be uploading a second video of the last boss done in challenge mode with some friends so that you can see all the mechanics and try to understand better how the fight works. Then, there is another point that I would like to talk about, which had an impact on the economy. I know that we are going back from content to the economy, but after all, this is what this channel is about. Jewels can now become infusions. This applies to both the very expensive ones, such as the Chak Exak, the Vial of Liquid Oleum, as well as the Preserved Queen Bee, but as well to the more cheap ones, such as the Polyluminescent Refractors. I myself have bought quite a few of these and have made some into infusions. While they are not as gorgeous and the effect is not as nice as the most expensive jewels, they are still a pretty nice effect to have on yourself. I will be opening some trick-or-treat bags on Sunday, making some infusions and giving them away, so make sure you hang out on the stream. The link will be found in the description down below. Finally, last but not least, this is also a Blackline chest update. We have new skins which have come through, the Abaddon skins. They cost 2 tickets each, which means that ArenaNet values them as being either important or as weapons that are gonna stay available for quite a while due to a potential gem store drought. Next, we have material bags in the new chests. I think that this was made in order to counteract the effect of the new Legendaries being released, which drained a lot of the supply, especially on totems. Finally, there was a skin rotation. We now have the Daydreamer skins as being the common ones, so make sure you complete your collections by buying them, unlocking the entirety of it and getting your 7 tickets back. This concludes the patch review. If you guys have any question, feel free to message me either in-game or on our Discord server, which link is in the description, and I will try to provide you with a good answer as soon as possible. Once again, thanks everyone for having watched this video. If you have liked it, I hope that you are gonna subscribe to the channel. I would also like to announce that due to the fact that we have gotten over 3,000 followers, I will be doing a Q&A. Any comment asked below this video will receive a heartfelt answer in the next video. This means that whatever question you ask, as long as it doesn't attack the integrity of someone else, will receive a complete answer. You may ask any and everything and I will answer it completely. In the meantime, I wish every single one of you a happy trading and to get rich.